Good evening, ladies. UnRuffled Ladies, we welcome you again to our Facebook Live. We all know that this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and so we are just here to chat with you again this evening. Let us know that you're all with us. Please put your name in the on the screen to let us know that you're on. And also, we would like for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. So, yes, we just want to say good evening to all of you. Uh, and just want to thank you in advance for being with us. This is a platform that we share our stories, a platform where we can be free in our story, whatever that might be. How many of you know all of us have some type of story that we can share to be able to help somebody else along the way? And I think that's why God allow us to go through different things because they know, He knows coming behind us, or there's other people that is even before us that don't know how to handle the storms and of life. Life always there are storms in life, but we are grateful today to have two powerful women on with us today that have went through the storm and still standing. And that's the good part about it when you uh, equate God in your storm. Whatever that storm may be, if you just add Him to it, you can know, you can guarantee, almost guaranteed to know that, hey, you're going to come out on top. So we are grateful to have, of course, let me just introduce myself. I am Dr. Gina Ned. I am the host of the UnRuffled Ladies. We have the co-host, which is Felicia Harris. And then we have our two guests, which one is, I would like to say they both is one is my daughter in the natural, but one is my daughter just by just relationship. Been knowing her for a long time. So we have Schawana Williams, who is my daughter, and then we have LaTonia, uh, who I consider as my daughter because we all grew up together. Let me put it like, because I want to add myself into. I'm kind of young. but we all kind of grew up together. Just a little something about the unruffled ladies, of course. The unruffled lady, it means to be confident, at ease, and balanced. At ease, confidence, and balance. It's so important that we as women, especially and men, to learn how to be balanced. Our whole purpose and goal is to help you grow from pain to power. From pain to power. And I just have learned and just learning that when you express your true feeling or you express your journey, when you express some of the things that you have experienced out in the open to other people, it it does help you go from pain to power. Why? Because not only are you empowering yourself, but you're also empowering someone else. I like to put it like this: we never go through anything or experience anything without uh, having given power to for you and with somebody else. Everything that we go through with, in other words, it is to help someone else along the way. It's just not your journey, but it's somebody else as well. So we do want to welcome Schawana Williams, who is my baby girl. She don't like to say that. Who is my baby girl? Tanya. So we're going to start with you, uh, Tanya. What is your last name, Nichols?
Nichols.
Nichols,
Mhm.
Latanya Nichols. She have a book. We definitely want to put that out there because she have a book that she have written about her journey, and it's a good read. It's a short read, so we will be giving you information later on in our book. But we want to start off with you, Miss Nichols. Just kind of tell us a little something about yourself before we go into you expressing the journey that you have gone through with. Just kind of tell us who are you?
I am
Mhm.
LaTonia. As she said before, my name is LaTonia Nichols. I am 46 years old. um, I am a wife of 24 years
Wow.
and counting. Mother, proud mother of two beautiful girls and two bonus daughters that came along with the package that we all make a blended family.
Yeah.
Um, I am a mama now with my bonus daughters. So I'm a fur mom. I am an eyebrow specialist. I am a singer. I am a crafter. Um, I'm just
All
a
around girl.
all around girly girl, and a proud survivor.
Yes, 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 yes. So she definitely have a strong a story that she's going to be sharing with us today. And I like in your book how you really equated God into this. Ty, can you tell us something about who are you?
My name is Schawana. To the people that have known me all my life, Ty, to the people who've known me for about 20 years or more or less. Um, I'm 44 years old. I'm a mom to one son, my pride and joy, Darius. I'm a daughter. I'm a helicopter daughter. Like, I love my mama. And I love my dad too. Let me say that as well. But that's it. I was a hairstylist for many years. I followed in my mom's footsteps as a hairstylist. And I currently work in corporate America. So that's a life within itself. But that's a little bit about me.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. We're going to let Pastor V chime in a little bit before we get started on this story. But once again, let me just encourage you once again, please let us know that you're on with us. This time that we have is, I always say, let's chat. So that means that we're going to be sharing stories. You let us know what you're thinking. You let us know if there's any question that you want to ask and you want us to try to answer those questions. Please let us know. And just by chatting in the chat box. And we definitely want to include you in this conversation. So let us know. We also have the co-host here, and we just want to give her an opportunity as well. Valicia?
Oh, I'm sorry. Um, Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to be back on this beautiful Sunday afternoon, sharing with these powerful young women as they share their stories with us on today. And I just wanted to just start by asking both of you ladies a question about your journey. Um, and that question is, what was the most difficult part of your journey and how did you overcome it?
Is it a certain order we going in?
The most difficult part of your journey and how were you able to overcome it?
For me, the most difficult part of my journey was hearing that I had cancer. Um, that was the most difficult part. I remember it like yesterday. So just hearing the C word, that was difficult for me. Very difficult, especially after we had just buried a friend of ours, and her name was Tanya. Um, there was, and then me always giving back in Breast Cancer Awareness Month and with my business, but just to hear it that me, have cancer, that was like a slap in the face, like a huge wow moment. How did I handle it? A lot of prayer, a lot of prayer, a lot of understanding it, a lot of understanding me, um, and just being transparent in it. That's how I got through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
I would say my most difficult moment was sitting down with my son and showing him my life insurance policies. I think that was one of the realest moments. Just preparing for whatever may come up, and just to see the look of fear on his face, sharing that information, sharing my final wishes, showing him where everything is. Um, that was really hard for me.
Yeah. We lost,
Mhm.
we lost Tanya.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think so.
Once again, technology, we always know that something could happen with technology. So hopefully she'll chime back in and get back on. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but also, as Ty was sharing what her moments, uh, I do want to just say this again: cancer do not have an age on it. You know, we know that there's kids born with cancer or at an early age. It doesn't have an age on it. But with her being my daughter, as I said earlier, for some reason, that's the first thought. You know, I'm not going to be here anymore. This is it for me. You know, so for me, being a mother, I had to really sit myself down, you know, knowing that there is nothing that Jehovah Raphael cannot do. He is the healer. So let me just sit myself down and get in the vein of who I know that can handle anything. So
Mm-hmm.
that was the hardest, but just hearing it, you know, as I said, being a mother, my thought was just I was all over the place in the beginning. And at the same time trying to not show any parts of fear being around her. I wanted to show I believe in who I believe in, you know. But yes, it was a difficult time as well in that beginning stage, you know. I'll tell you, I want to go ahead and I want to talk to you. I want you to talk to us about in your book. You started out you saying take time for yourself. Let's just kind of establish that and how important it is uh, to take time for ourselves and to keep ourselves checked out. Believe it or not, this was my second time having a mammogram in my life. I always, that was one of the things that I always just wanted to push to the side. I didn't want to have, I didn't want to know nothing.
Right.
But talk to us, Tanya, about how important that we take time for ourselves. That's how you started the book, talking about take time for you.
Yes. It's very important. As moms, as wives, as just business women, just women in general, we are so busy helping and taking care of others and being there for others. And we forget about ourselves a whole lot, like literally
Yeah,
a whole lot. And it's easy to do because our eyes see that person is asking for something, but
yeah,
our eyes don't see that we're lacking something. So
not good.
in that
That's
moment, it it grasped me because I don't know I don't know when cancer came about. I know when I got diagnosed, I was at stage 3, but I was always going on a yearly to get my exams. Um, but I always ask, "Do you want to do your mammogram?" Because I heard the stories. I heard the stories that it hurt. I heard the
mm-hmm.
stories that it's very uncomfortable. I heard the stories it's a waste of time. I just heard many stories, and just putting it on the back burner. And by me putting it on the back burner, I put myself on the back burner because you don't really see the importance of it, and then you get scared because you don't want to know nothing.
Right.
Like, who wants to hear that you have anything,
Yeah,
any kind of disease? But who definitely want to hear that you have cancer? Because automatically you go to death. So it's very important that you take care as a woman, regardless if you have a family, if you have children, regardless, you still have to take care of yourself.
yeah,
You can't be okay for anybody until you are okay. We so busy being that strong person, that go-to person. We wipe everybody else's tears, but who's wiping ours?
that's good.
So it is very very important that you take care of your mental, take care of your heart, take care of your mind, your way of thinking, so you can be okay for instead of because we have that persona that we so strong till we try to act the part
Yeah. Yeah.
with a smile, and
Yeah.
inside we tired, we hurting, we probably worried about this, worried about that, but we can't see it with that smile.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's because we so easily to mask it. But it's not good to mask it because you're literally draining yourself.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
draining yourself to where anything can attack your immune system. When you're
Yeah.
weak, anything can attack you. Literally,
Yeah.
anything can attack you. You don't think of it that way, but that's why it's important for you to understand you before you can understand anybody else. You have to literally sit down with your own self. You have to date your own self, even if it's in your own
That's,
house.
that's
You have
good.
to literally date your own self. You got to get to know yourself all over again because you probably don't forgot yourself. You don't forgot who you were,
Before
and now the
the
is
before you have kids, before you, yeah, exactly.
yeah, you don't forgot who that person was, and now
Yes.
that person have to meet this person that you are now. So y'all got to find a middle
Yeah.
on how to cope with this body
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the it's totally different from what it was then to what it is now. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's why it's
Yeah.
important.
Yeah. I'm gonna get you to turn your camera, Tanya. Tanya. Yeah.
Let's
Turn
see.
it so we can see the whole you.
Is it
Get the
going? Is it
perspective.
going to do it? Wait a minute.
Yeah. Just turn around so we can. There you go.
Did you do me? There you go.
Mhm.
Yeah. So Ty, kind of tell us, what you're feeling and what was your feeling when you first
Um,
heard the news, or
I
because I know
think
you are one of those people that you always get yourself checked, right?
well, what I will say to add to some of the things that Tanya said is it's very important that we advocate for ourselves. I had went for my wellness check, and so my normal doctor that I had been with for years, she just did the hand test, like when they try to just feel for any lumps. And she said, "Oh, you got some disc tissue, but you just had a mammogram, so you don't." I had just had a mammogram, the biggest at 40, I believe, or 41, something like that. And so she
Mm-hmm.
didn't think I needed a mammogram. Um, Fast forward, I think that happened in February of last year. Fast forward to July,
Mm-hmm.
I was out with a friend and watching the fight, and just all of a sudden, everything just started spinning. Everything started spinning, and then I got up to try to leave, and I passed out.
Mhm.
Wow.
Um, and so then I called my doctor's office. That was on a Saturday. I called my doctor on Monday. She was out of office, and I just opted. And so it was definitely divine intervention because I'm the type of person, whether you're my nail lady, hair lady, doctor, I stay with the same person.
Yeah.
She was out, and so I saw one of her associates, and that associate ordered me a mammogram. So it's truly divine intervention. I should have advocated for myself on that first visit and said, "Hey, I need to go get a mammogram."
Mm-hmm.
But God allowed me to get sick that Saturday and pass out, and my doctor was out of office. I saw her associate, and he ordered a mammogram.
Wow.
And I probably would have went another year or so and not even known what was going on. So,
Yeah.
yeah, when I first found out, so I had that mammogram. Mammogram came back abnormal. That was August 22nd. September 25th. That's another thing. When you're doing your breast care, I know I'm in the Memorial Hermann system, and those appointments are booked out. Like, so you need to like book ahead.
Yeah.
And so when I went on September 25th to have my ultrasound and tomo to see if that was actually, the abnormality was something there. Grateful to God, my parents was there, my little sister Alencia was there. Um, And so when I was in the room and she was doing the exam, I could tell by the person's face that something wasn't right.
Yeah.
My mom had to come back with me into the back waiting room. So getting off the table, I was telling myself to stay strong. I didn't want to walk out there broken and affect my mom. And so once we got back where my dad and Orlencia was, that's when I broke. And yeah, the first thing you think is, I'm going to die. And I was like, my son he's a young adult, but I'm not done raising him. Like he still needs his mom. And so yeah, for I would say a month straight, like I couldn't even really think of the plan. All I was thinking was, let me prepare for death.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Mm.
LaTonya, just another question for you. You talked about in your book, the little girl inside. And we sharing all this because all these are true feelings. But at the same time, as you can see, you that's in the audience that is on with us today, if you look at them today, you would never think in your own mind that they have gone through the things that they have experienced concerning cancer. Once again, this is Cancer Awareness Month, and that's what we're talking about. And we are talking about it because we want to give you hope. We want to know that just as you see them today, up functioning, up going, and up doing, uh, there's a story behind it all, but they're standing today. Look, how
Mm.
you talked about the little girl in you. And one thing I do want to express, no matter how old you get, there's a little girl and a little boy still left in you. And God would put different situation in your life that would bring you back to that little girl or bring you back to that little boy. And I think uh, whenever we don't be vulnerable enough to even feel that, that's how we keep so much stuff locked up on the inside of us. Because I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Talk about that
Mhm.
little girl in you at the time that you was going through your stages of cancer.
So when I even realized that I haven't been an adult all my life, when I realized that girl was still in there, I was at the doctor's office. They had done my mammogram, and um, everything went well. All the stories was false of what I've heard. So they was like, Miss Nichols, I got dressed, getting ready to go out to the car. They was like, Miss Nichols, we need you to come back, because we seen something, but don't worry, we get this all the time. This could be just dense tissue. Um,
Yeah.
but we just want to make sure. Um, but still no worries. We do this all the time. So here I am. Just I only thing I heard was I seen something. I
Yeah.
forgot everything else she said, but I heard I seen something. So
Mm-hmm.
she was like, "Well, we're gonna need you to come back tomorrow if you're available. Just come back tomorrow. We're gonna do it over again. Somebody call you to schedule the time." Um, and she actually tapped me on this arm, but no worries, no worries. We got you covered. I was like, okay. Once again, masking. Okay, sure, no problem. Um, so I got the call, did the schedule, went back the next day. Um, did the mammogram, still no hurt, no pain, whatever. Um, and she was like, I'm thinking that it was gonna be like before. So she said, so before you leave, before we get, to put everything on, we want to make sure we got the right images because the doctor is here to read it. So instantly, my mind triggered. The room went far away, and I just felt alone, like a vulnerable little girl in the gown, in the room, by myself, nobody else around, in my thoughts, and tears started falling because in my head was my mama,
I'm about to cry
was
right now.
my daddy. I know, right? I'm sitting, I'm like, was my mama, was my, that was the, I know I'm married, but I'm a little girl at that moment. So I'm thinking, where's my mama? Where's my daddy?
Yep.
And I was just, I literally, I can just imagine it right now. I was literally like this, on the thing, in the chair, hands crossed, my feet crossed, and I'm literally doing this. And I was like, oh my God, what is going on? And then I hear the door. Yeah, Miss Nichols, we did see something. And once again, I was like, huh? But it's no need to worry. No need to worry. I'm talking to her in my adult voice, but my inner child wanted to scream. What are you talking about? Who have you seen what? What? Where's my mama? Where's my So instantly that little girl, I felt so vulnerable. I felt I literally felt like violated. I felt um I felt weak. I felt insecure. I felt I felt lost
Mm.
instantly. Like I was just by myself. I was just lost. Like I didn't know what direction to go, who to turn to, who to talk to. I felt like a little kid trying to get instructions. All of when your mom and your dad tell you don't cross the street unless you look both ways.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I needed some type of direction. Like when she got me up, and I remember her telling me, no, 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 this, I literally forgot which way to go to put my clothes back on.
Yeah.
I lost it. And I knew I had to get my adult self back together again before I got behind the wheel. But that little girl, I was like, oh my God. When I
Yeah.
got in the car, I cried. Didn't hear nothing yet, but I cried because I just know you seen something. And I
Yeah.
was by myself and I
Yeah.
felt vulnerable. And I didn't like this feeling because I'm supposed to be an adult, but at this moment I'm a child because I'm lost. I need some guidance. I need my mama. I need a hug. I
Yeah.
needed somebody to tell me it was gonna be okay. I
Mm.
just needed that security that our parents give us when we're little.
Yeah.
That's what I needed at that moment, but I didn't have it because I'm an adult.
Yeah. And
And I
we're sharing this part of the story because we know that there is somebody out there, even right now, maybe feeling just what she felt or maybe going through just what. But the bottom line is that we're going to get to that when you trust God, God will bring you through it. He will bring you through it. But all these feelings are real. This is not something that is just a made up story. These are really feelings. Do we have any questions, Professor? Is anybody saying anything?
No, I don't see anything just yet. As Latonya was talking, I was just wondering after you received the diagnosis, um, how did your family react to it? What was their response to hearing that you received a diagnosis of cancer?
when I told them, everybody was shocked. They was like, "What? You have what?"
Yeah.
And when I got the call, I was on my way to go get my baby girl. She was a senior at that time. So I got the call while I was driving, literally driving. And the doctor knew I was driving. He still told me that I had cancer while I was driving. So I
Mm,
had to pull over in that moment because I literally had my first out of body experience there. Would never forget it. By Bighorns on the side of Walmart going down that road. I had to pull over and park. And everybody was like, "What? You have what?" When I finally told. Now, if they were scared, I don't know. I know I was.
Mm-hmm.
If they cried, I didn't see it. So I know they were scared because I was scared. I was trying not to show it, but I'm very sure that they were scared because, like I said, we had just buried somebody from cancer, and every time you hear cancer, you think of death.
Yeah.
Some,
Yeah.
and for me to be mama, for me to be the wife, I'm very sure that they were scared.
Yeah.
I'd heard about it later that they were scared, but in that moment,
Yeah.
when I told them, they didn't. They just, oh, it's gonna be all right, mama. It's gonna be all right. Oh, baby, you got this. It was a pumped up type, you know, trying to get me to be pumped up.
Yeah.
But if they did, I know they did, was
Mhm.
scared, but they didn't show me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm asking that question because I know sometimes when we go through a traumatic situation and people will come to you being well meaning sometimes, and they'll say something out the way. They mean well, but it is something that they don't need to say, or it's something you really don't need to hear in that moment. And so my question is, what should you not say to a cancer patient?
Todd, that's a good question for you.
Well,
Because some people need to know, what should you not say. You might mean well, but there's certain things you just don't need to just say to someone that's been dealt that type of situation.
yeah, I wouldn't say I experienced people saying the wrong thing. Um, in hindsight is 2020. So looking back on the situation, I'll discuss some of the things that with my mom. Hindsight, I just know she was worried, and my mom is a praying woman, so she's very, God is going to do this, God is going to do that. Which when the thing was all over, God did. Um,
Mhm.
but I think a lot of the I would say one of the things, and it's a good thing, but she just kept saying, I believe when you go back in there, it's not going to be there. And I'm like, I got to go do this. I think this was like right before I had the biopsy, in between the ultrasound and the biopsy. And she was like, yeah, it's not going to be there. And I'm like, Mom, I got to go do this biopsy. But I know she was being supportive, being a mom the best way she could. Um, but when you're going through it, you're trying to dig yourself out of the death thought.
Mhm.
Part of digging yourself out of the death thought is getting on track with everything that you need to do. So a lot of times, and it's great to be praying. I know it's prayer that brought me out of this, but sometimes you just have to get on board with what's going on, because it made me very double-minded. So I'm like, I know my mom, she cool with Jesus, so I might don't need to go do this biopsy, but I knew I needed to go do that biopsy, right? But then I'm like, am I not having faith by going to do this biopsy? Because my mama said. So I think that was one of the trying to be in full belief with her, but also taking the proper necessary steps medically. So that was
Mhm.
a tug of war. Yeah.
What
Mhm.
about you, Tanya? Some of the things that a person shouldn't say.
Um, for me, I've learned in this journey, because that is what I didn't want to. I didn't want to hear it was going to be okay until I knew for
It was a
myself that I was going to be okay. It's different to hear it, people saying it, you're going to be okay, you're going to be okay. And if your mind is not there at that moment, you don't want to hear it, because you
yes,
still got to grasp the fact I'm the one who was told that I had cancer.
yes,
You wasn't told that you had cancer. So of course you gonna be okay. I
right.
had to get it in my head, telling you gonna be okay, telling you gonna be okay. And when I started to grab that for myself, then I was okay with hearing you gonna be okay, because I knew at that moment that I was gonna be okay. But at the beginning, I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to hear nothing. I didn't want to be asked, "Are you okay?" No, I ain't okay. I just got told I had cancer. No, I am not okay. Don't ask me that. I didn't want to hear it. I did not want to hear, "Are you okay?" Because no, let me try to work through my feelings on how I should feel in this moment. Because if you don't know how you're not trying to you're not trying to go to death, but that's what you go to, death. You literally go to that. That's the first thing you cancer. I'm dying. That's the first thing that anybody, and you might not. You probably in the very tense events of the beginning, but cancer is cancer. And any stage can take you out if you're not thinking properly, if you're not feeding yourself properly. And I'm not just talking about with food, I'm talking about with natural, with words, with encouragement, with the word. If you're not
Yeah.
if you're not feeding yourself that way, anything can take you out. So I didn't want to hear, "Are you okay?" Because I would literally give people a blank stare at the beginning because I had to think about what I say before because I didn't want to lash out at people.
Mm-hmm.
So I would be like, and sometimes that'll give them that moment, be like, leave her alone. Because
Yeah.
I'm really not trying, I'm not trying to lash out, but my feelings is lashing out
Mm-hmm.
because I just got told I had cancer. So in my head, I would say not to act. And it's a lot of people that I have come in contact with during this journey. I'm not going to ask you, "Are you okay?" Because I know I didn't. And I'm very sure you might be okay. I don't know, but I'm not going to ask you because I don't want to trigger you.
Yeah.
So I would say that's for me. I didn't want to hear, "Are you okay?" I didn't want to hear, "It's going to be all right." I didn't want to hear none of that. I didn't want to hear it until I grabbed a hold of it. Then I was okay with hearing, "Oh, you gonna be okay?" Yep, you're right. You sure right. I am, because I knew it then. But at the beginning, nope, I didn't want to hear nothing. Get somebody else to do it.
So,
I didn't want to hear it.
so what would be the appropriate question? Because there are some people out there, if they hear that word, they're ready to commit suicide. They are ready to just take their own life because, like you said, it's the first thing you think about, death. So there are some people out there say, hey, I might as well just kill myself. I'm dying anyway. So what is the appropriate thing to do to address someone that they're just finding out that they have cancer? What would
You
be the
got this.
appropriate word to say? What would be the ideal? Because me being a woman of God, and like I said, I had to immediately reroute my way of thinking when I first heard it myself because I thought the same thing. So I had to immediately go into prayer and reroute my thinking. And I had to begin to speak those things as though it were. I wasn't ready for my daughter to leave. So I had to start doing what the Bible told me. The Bible says, speak those things as though it were. So I had to begin to do that. No, the doctor said this, but God, I've made my request known, and this I'm going to say what you say because power, the life and death is in the power of my tongue, and so I'm going to speak. So, but what is the appropriate thing to say, if especially with a person that you know and you are concerned about and you love?
For me, I would say usually this journey you share it with the closest people in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know for me, I wanted to keep it with my immediate inner circle, and that meant my parents, my sister, my best cousin Tamara, my son. That was it. I didn't want anybody else to know. Um,
Why not?
and the reason why I wanted just them to know is because I think it's important when you're going through this, the people around you are the people that knows you best. So I feel like you won't have those triggering questions. If you know me, you know what comforts me. So it's not all about the words. Just do the things that you know, oh, this will make her happy. Or if you have to ask a question, what can I do for you?
Mm-hmm.
Um, treat me normal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for instance, my cousin Tamara, she knows I like blankets and socks and my favorite candies and stuff like that. So she just made a care package. She didn't say any words. She just knew this is something that will comfort her. Um, so I think it's important to be surrounded by the right people in your journey, and those people should know you well enough to know what to say and what's going to make you feel better in the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I will say, like one of the things, one of the great things that came out of this journey is I had been asking my mom for a meatloaf for about 5 years. Baby, she showed up to the house with me old meatloaf. It just comforted me so. I've been begging for that meatloaf for about 5 years. But this journey made that lady make me a meatloaf. And that was comforting to me. So it's things like that. That's how you keep a person. I knew in that meatloaf, I knew my mom loves me. My mom is here. It's a small thing, but it's for real.
It
It
is
was the
real though.
gesture
That's
that
real.
okay, I got this. My mom loves me. I gotta survive for my mom.
So
So
that
I'll
meatloaf
say
speak
that.
volumes, huh?
Mhm.
It's about big volumes.
Wow. Wow. Do we have any questions or anything? Anybody say
Yeah,
anything?
yeah.
Time.
We have a question from Tamara. She asked, pre-diagnosis, did either of you notice anything abnormal yourselves in your breast area? And if so, what are some of the key things to look for to feel?
I didn't I didn't notice anything abnormal. Like I said earlier, I had that fainting spell and went to the doctor. I had no clue because I didn't my body didn't feel different or anything.
Mm,
So and I would also say, just be mindful of, yes, we do need to have our what do they call it when they do it with the hands?
self
Mm-hmm.
Self-examination.
self
So
examination.
yes, so I think those are important. But as far as I would say aging ladies, us that are getting older, we have to take the extra steps. Feeling is
Mm-hmm.
just not enough, especially with me. I had very huge breasts, and they were the tissue was very dense. So even trying to feel for a lump, I wouldn't have felt it.
Mm,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I didn't have any symptoms. I didn't have none. The only thing, well, I'm gonna put it like this. So when I went, you get that list and they ask you about are you experiencing this? Are you experiencing that? It's a long checklist.
mhm.
No.
Everything was a no. No, 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 no. The only thing that brought me in was discoloration from my toenails. And I've
Mm-hmm.
been going to the same foot
Okay.
my nail tech. She do my nails and my feet, and she opens up new stuff every time. So I've been going to Kathy for years. So she noticed it, and I noticed it at the same time. So she started doing treatments and this. So that's the only thing that made me go to. I had already just got my exam, so I went another extra, because I'm like, what is going on with my toes? Like they they were literally discolored and they started falling off. Um,
Wow.
so that was it. Um, if I didn't go, just just imagine if I went, I wouldn't have I wouldn't have known. Like literally wouldn't have known. Um, I know they say a sign is every blue moon I would have like a lip sharp pain. But they say it could be because of caffeine. And I am a coffee drinker and I am a Coke drinker heavily. Touch my tongue, Lord. But I love that type of caffeine. So they say that type of pain might have, but it was every blue moon. But
Mm-hmm.
my self-examination, I didn't have nothing with redness of nipples or like dense tissue, lazy tissue. I had all, so you really don't be knowing what to feel for.
Yeah.
But they said the way it was embedded inside the tissue. I wouldn't even felt it even if I did do, because my doctor did a self-examination
Yeah. Mine too.
and she
Mm.
was like, oh no, you good. So if I would have took that and not even did my mammogram because of the stories,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known that I had,
Yeah.
cancer. So it's very important to know your body.
Yeah.
Yes.
Know your body, because if it wasn't for me going, because like everybody say when you go through radiation, that's when your toenails you start experiencing. I didn't have that. So I experienced that beforehand. And God knows that I'm a person that pay attention to my outer appearance. So
Mm-hmm.
that triggered me. What? Who wanted? Even though I'm putting, she would have to do acrylic toenails and put the polish on there, but I still wasn't happy with that because they were still growing and they were still coming back, going back off. So it's just about listening. When your body gives you some type of warning, go to the doctor. Like
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
one was fainting, she went to the doctor. Mine was my toenails. I go to the doctor. It's just pay attention to any, because every cancer looks different in everybody. Everybody, it's different. My
Yeah.
symptom is not going to be your symptom. Your symptom is not going to be what I had.
Yeah.
You might not experience nothing,
Yeah.
nothing. And I have come across many women that have not experienced nothing, but
Mm-hmm.
still, it gave some, like one person, she had a pain in her back. That was a sign for her to go to the doctor.
Mm.
That pain probably didn't have nothing to do with that cancer, but that's how she ended up finding out she had cancer.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right.
It was
You
a
know,
negative
you said
zero,
something.
but still.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead,
You said
mama.
something very, very powerful a few minutes ago, and I think a lot of us that's what we are. You said that you was very intended to your outer body. You paid you wanted to look cute on the outside of you at all times, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what a lot of us do. Even with you talked about when you talked about taking time for yourself, and you talked about the mental health part of it. You talked about the something else I was looking at that you was identifying your stress, you know, and a lot of time we don't pay attention to our inner feelings that causes all these things to come about. We don't have a problem trying to cover up on the outside by looking cute on the outside, taking care of that body on the outside.
Yep.
But, we have a problem when we talk about the enemy. What's going on the enemy part? Like you say, your mother, your wife, your this and that, and you're looking at somebody else and taking care of all of their issues, but you leaving out that inner part of you. Even with this platform, it's a conversation piece. The Bible said we iron sharpen iron. So we learn from each other when we speak the inner part of us. You know, now it's gonna make me be more conscious on little things that I feel in my body to think, okay, this could be blah blah blah. Not to be get in a mode of worry, but get in the mode of being more attention to what I'm feeling from the inside.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I do
Mhm.
want to express that, uh, ladies, that it's so important that we look within sometime. Check in, and you said it earlier. Check in with yourself. We have to check in
Most
with ourselves.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have
Mhm.
any more questions?
Um, no, I didn't see any more questions. I just wanted to know, just out of curiosity, were you able to find any natural things or natural remedies that were helpful in your recovery?
I got into the soursop. Um, honestly, my journey was happening so fast that I really didn't have the time to really get into, you know, homeopathic remedies. I mean, I had an abnormal mammogram August 22nd. September the 25th, I was having my ultrasound and tomo. October 10th, I had a biopsy, and I was in surgery November 7th.
Wow.
So, you know, it was moving really, really fast for me. Um, but I did during that period, and I've gotten better now, just trying to be mindful of sugars, because sugars, that's what eats your cells and causes cancer cells, us having so much sugar. Um, Now, am I all the way there? No. But I'm a bit more mindful of what I put into my body. You know, instead of living to eat, eating to live.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
For me, like Juana said, it my journey went fast. I got diagnosed. I got told I had cancer October 13th. Got diagnosed October 15th. Found out I was a gene carrier, BRCA1 gene carrier from. So if I didn't make the call of telling them to take both breasts, it would have came back more aggressive in the right breast. So it was a lot going on in my head. Like what? So now you saying I have cancer, and now I'm a carrier from breast to breast. Like wait a minute, let's make this make sense. But none can make sense because everything was going so fast. And then the doctors going around trying to play God, and I ended up having to have it my double mastectomy on December the 6th, and I had to do that recovery time at home. I spent so natural was not even in my thought pattern.
Mhm.
Everybody, say natural, but the only thing that I know, you know, everybody have their own journey. Everybody go
Yeah.
through life totally different.
Right.
I know what God can do. So
Yeah.
that's what I grabbed a hold to. I made sure that my walk was pleasing unto him because I knew he was the only one that was gonna get me through this.
Yeah.
I didn't even try to go outside. My mind wasn't even focused on outside remedies. My mind was only focused on what God can do for me because I knew then, okay, so this was placed upon me. There got to be something bigger here.
Mhm.
So Lord, only you go have to show me what you're trying to do, what's going on, what I need to get from this. And the only way I could do that, I had to literally, make sure I was okay, make sure I was listening to my body, making sure I talked to myself, making sure I journaled, making sure. But now, like I said, now I know about the sea moss and different things like that, that helps you along to help,
Mhm.
but you can't do it if you still, munching down on stuff that you ain't supposed to, but still. Um, but like want to say, you're eating to live, but it's not. You can't do that if you're not aware of what you done been through.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now that people, you're making this awareness, it's being cautious. Now it's for the person that's listening to take that cross up and be aware of what you input into your body and to do your research. Because we are here talking about our journey, but we don't know what your journey is going to come across.
Yeah.
It might
Mhm.
be to help somebody. You might not even come across cancer. Cancer might not even be at your doorstep, but it might be at somebody's doorstep that you know.
Mm-hmm.
So this this conversation piece is brought to you so you can learn and grow in knowledge so you can help somebody else in their
Yeah.
journey.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Tony said, she said, touch on the mental health. Just kind of touch on mental. What was it like for both of you going through that journey mentally? You know, what can you say that can help somebody else that may have just started the journey? You
Mm-hmm.
know.
I would say allow yourself to feel your feelings because it's definitely a mental journey. For me, I had high highs and low lows. Like some days, I would go 3 days with maybe 2, 3 hours of sleep. You try to calm yourself down to get some rest. Your brain just won't shut off. For me, a lot of it was, again, like I said earlier, just worried about my son. Like, okay, he's a young adult, but kind of still need a mom. It's too early. So a lot of that was very, very debilitating for me. What I can say again, speaking on having the right people around you, um, my circle, my sisters, like I know I couldn't have made it through this journey without my sisters. Um, they were there like every step of the way. And then a lot of the mental things that I was going through, I didn't want my mom to know because I didn't want to worry her, stress her out, and get her sick. So I would have to put on this little brave face, like I got this. Um, but in the background, crying my eyes out daily. Um, my dad was very instrumental in calling, making me laugh. He was my confidant. Like I really like shared like the ugly with him, and he was able to really just hold my hand through that process. But yeah, I would say if you feel a little depressed, it's okay. Like it's depressing. It's
Mhm.
depressing. I think when I did kind of get back on the fight side of it, once I really met my doctors, God just happened to place Dr. Dempsey, that was my cancer doctor in my life. She was a praying woman, like
Yes. Uh,
praying woman. I had never seen that, like in healthcare, like someone that really, really just prays like I pray or pray like my mom would pray. So, you know,
abs-
huh?
that that was so awesome. Before even she did surgery on time, she let the people know that was going to be working with her. I believe in prayer, and
Yeah,
before we start this surgery, we gonna all surround this bed and we gonna pray. And she prayed for every hand that had to do anything with touching her body. And so
yeah,
that was a great release right there for me.
yeah.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, going into surgery.
Yeah, and I think that portion of right before going into surgery, like I literally saw the weight lift off my mom after that
Yeah.
prayer. At first, she was like sitting there, like, "Oh Lord, I don't know if my baby gonna come out of this." But once Dr. Dempsey prayed, it was just like it released her, and
Yeah.
so seeing the confidence on her face gave me confidence that everything would be fine. And then my little sister Alicia said, "Yeah, once because beforehand, my mom, I have to be at the hospital and I'm gonna sit there all day and blah 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 blah." After Dr. Dempsey prayed, Alicia told me, Mama was like, "You want to go to Target?" I didn't let she went to Target.
Well,
But yeah,
I had that assurance because she was praying to the same God that I prayed to. She wasn't praying to a small God God. And
Mm-hmm.
so that just gave me confidence and assure that she was allowing God to use her hands to work on. I felt special.
yeah,
I felt really special that God just special me out to have a doctor that prayed to the same God, believe the same God that I believe, to work on my daughter that He had given me. So that was like, thank you, Jesus. You know, but LaTonya, what do you have to say about that? Because our time is running down. We time is out.
By mental health, your mental health journey in this is a journey all by itself.
mhm,
I would say it's okay not to be okay, but just don't stay there.
Yeah.
Um,
right,
That's good.
I am going. into this cancer-free journey, going on 3 years this year, and I still battle.
Yeah.
Going on 3 years, and I still battle on a daily.
Yeah,
I,
me
I,
too.
yeah, I still battle on a daily, and it's not a battle of I'm dying. It's a battle that I could have died. Like this
Hmm.
thing, I had this in me that could have taken me out. And I get emotional talking about it because I'm like, my kids could have been motherless, like who was going to be there for my kids? I'm the mama.
Yeah.
I get in that moment. I was going to leave my husband. Like all this plays back. It
In
got
your
on
mind.
me.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's okay to release it. Just don't stay there
Yeah.
and get like this is a new area for me. If I
Hmm.
hug you, that means I trust you in this area.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I look at this walk now. I You got to watch what you attach yourself to. And
Oh,
that goes to mentally because anything can be a leech sucking onto you, sucking you dry.
Yeah.
So you
mm,
have to watch what you attach yourself to and what attaches itself to you. Because this is a new journey that you're about to embark upon. So
yeah.
you got to be mentally ready for you. Make sure your circle is your circle.
Yes.
Because I remember when I got diagnosed, man, day two I cried like my grandmama whooped me when I was a little kid. I did one, and I called my husband, and I didn't. He picked up the phone, and that's what I was doing, crying. I didn't say baby. I didn't say nothing. I just cried, and I threw my phone afterwards, and then I got up. I was ready to fight, but I still get weak sometimes because it'd be like, man, and my body's still healing. I went through 5 major surgeries back to back, 3 months apart from each other. My body's still healing from this journey, and I get weak, and I'd be like, but I don't remember what Tanya used to be before that surgery. I don't remember nothing about Tanya, nothing. But I thank God for the Tanya now. But it's still a mental process that you have to, and you got to make sure that you prayed up. If you don't, man,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you got to make sure your circle is tight, and you
Yeah.
got to make sure you prayed up because that mental thing it's that's a journey all in itself, and that's a booger. That is
Yeah.
a huge spirit that can come along to either take you out, and if that circle is not connected, you will.
Yeah.
You ain't even got to commit suicide. You would literally let the cancer kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
you got to
Yeah.
literally fight. If you can't fight, you got to make sure somebody that'll help you pump up to
Yeah.
get you that strength so you can, because that mental thing is draining and it's still draining to this day. So you just got to make sure you got to watch what latches to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Well, I definitely
I also
thank.
say positive affirmations as well. Because post surgery, one thing that Tanya just said is you're no longer the old you. So even dealing with looking at yourself cut up, what you used to think was beautiful, and now that's cut up. Um,
Mm,
you have to speak positive into your soul. You are beautiful.
you got to.
This is
Mm-hmm.
just that. I saw one of the things I tell myself. This is God's signature on me. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I tell myself when I see my scars. This is God's
Yeah.
signature.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. You know, through that journey that y'all taken, both of you can really say, because I know in your book you have a lot of scripture. We definitely want to put this book up on the screen to let you know that you can get it from Amazon. It's a must-have book. So please, please, please buy this book. This is Tanya Nichols' book. Please buy it. But you
What's
all
the
are
title?
walking miracles, huh?
What's the title?
Tell her the title, Tanya.
It's in my valley experience. I didn't break. So it's a part two to my first book, but that's the book that's for my cancer journey. In my valley experience, I didn't break.
Yeah, I ordered it and I think I got it the next day. So if you order from Amazon, if you have Prime, you
Um,
get it right away. But anyway, to look at you two today, and like I said, I see there's a lot of scripture that you've seen, so I know your part of your journey was in the Word, and you was talking to God along the way. And I look at my daughter, and all I see is the hand of God, the hand of God. You know, because like you say, uh, it could take you out. And so I like what Ty said. Look at your scars and say, "This is the hand of God. I'm here because God brought me through this. You know, this was part of my journey being here on earth, so I can be a testimony to somebody else that He lives, and what He do for one, He will do for another. You know, so I just hope y'all keep continues to share your journey, share your story with other people that's out there, because, like I said, it might not be a cancer, but it may be something else. And because you've gone through cancer, you still have a voice to share with somebody else, to help somebody else through that journey. Because somebody else may not even know God. That was the thing that helped you guys. So please get this book. It's so important. It's a beautiful book, front and back. Of course, the Tanya's on the back with her beautiful self. Uh, so get the book. Get it from Amazon. Is there any other way that can get the book, Tanya? LaTonya?
and if you're wanting like next day and all that, you can get it through Amazon. If you just wanting like, I give some people that want a signed copy. That's on through my website. Or you can pick it up. I meet people to pick up. Um, but if you're wanting it just through Amazon, you can care less about a signature. Amazon.
So give them your website.
My website is impression. IMPRESSION. Impression brows BROWS.com, and that's because I'm an eyebrow specialist.
Yeah, yeah. And I also want to just add to that, even if you don't want to read the book, just do it out of support. Just do it out of support. Just that will help her write another book. You know, we need books to help us go through every journey of life. We need some kind of reading to help us go through every journey of life. So just get the book just out of support. You know, so thank you both of you for being on with us today. We appreciate all the info that you gave us, the information that you gave us today. And I'm praying and hoping that there's somebody out there that would maybe go back and replay this and catch on to hope, that there is hope. Amen. So we're going to just say good evening to all of you. Thank you so much for being on with us.
Before we
Remember,
close out,
huh?
before we close out, I just wanted to mention a couple of names,
Okay.
um, just to give them public adoration and thankful gratefulness of them. So, my doctor, Dr. Kelly Dempsey, for any woman that is going through something like this, she's one of the best breast care specialists, oncologist.
Yeah.
My plastic surgeon, Dr. Shanat, amazing. I was blessed to have my double lumpectomy and my reconstructive surgery all at one time, so I didn't have to
Yeah.
wait and go back in there. And then my family, my mom, my dad, my sisters, Shamanda and Arlencia, my son, Darius, and my best cousin, Tamara. I couldn't have made it without them.
You were there
Huh?
for me to.
Oh, my cousin, Fermita, and then a host of friends. But
Yeah.
those main characters, I just want to publicly thank them for putting up with the ugliest parts of me and still holding my hand.
Yeah. Oh, great. Well, once again, thank you for being on. I want to just encourage you to be unruffled, to be confident, and to be balanced. Know that God loves you as well. God bless. Have a great evening.
Bye bye.